4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright? So we're going to add a little bit to it, but focus on kind of inflating that belly like a balloon, trying to get as much air down there as possible. This is really kind of foundational movement or foundational piece of our movement. It's kind of really working to brace that core. And if we can kind of create pressure in our abdomen, that creates a much more rigid structure for us when we're lunging, when we're squatting, when we're doing push-ups, anything like that. All right. So we're going to add a little bit of single leg balance to this as we breathe. So a couple options. We can either just float the leg just above the ground and tap when we need to, or we can focus on drawing that knee as high as we can during that inhale. We'll hold it for our 2, and we'll lower it during our exhale. Okay? So we're going to do the same pattern. We're going to do a 4, 2, 6. We're going to do 2 times on each leg. Okay? So work on that inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll switch sides. We'll inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe normally. All right, we're going to go on to a little bit of mobility work. So hopefully you're feeling a little centered, a little stable. So we'll focus on mobilizing our hips and our shoulders a little bit today. So we'll drop down into what we call a 90-90 stretch. Our both knees, both ankles are going to be at 90 degrees, a good right angle. Our chest is going to be turned to look over that front knee. Okay? So what we're going to do, imagine you're being pulled by the chest going forward. And you should feel a nice stretch through that glute of that front leg. So we're just going to hold there and kind of where you feel that tension. Don't want you to push beyond it, but I kind of want you to ease yourself into it. And then we'll pull out of it. Kind of reset ourselves. You can keep this axillary hand down for support if you need to, or you can take that hand up. We're going to go one more time, easing ourselves forward. Maybe just a little bit deeper than you did the last time. We're going to hold, and again, still breathing through that belly. And bring it back up, relax. So we're going to add a little bit of rotation onto this one. So where that hand is planted, I want you to extend that out a little bit more. So we're still going to work to go that chest being pulled forward, still feel that glute. And then we're going to work to thread our other arm through our down arm. So we had a little triangle, we're just going to reach, and pull that back up, and reset. All right, so it's a little dance, a little choreography here. So we're going to lean forward, right? We're going to find that tension in that front glute. We're going to reach that hand out, and we're going to thread and reach. We're reaching straight backwards, real deep in the glute. Make sure you exhale, and then we'll slide that back up and back into place. We'll do one more time on this side. We're reaching forward. Kick that kickstand out. We'll thread that arm underneath. Big reach. Then we'll bring it back in and back up. All right, we'll go ahead and switch sides here. We'll do the same on the opposing. So make sure we got the 90-90 in both knees, both ankles. We'll reach that chest forward. We'll just find out how that glute is feeling first. And breathe, try to relax, melt into that stretch. Those hips tend to hold a lot of tension. Relax out of that. We'll go one more time here. Breathing forward. Again, shooting to be a little bit deeper. Don't force yourself into it, but just try to slowly extend that range of motion. And relax one more time. So we'll reset. We'll get that kickstand out there. We're going to start that thread. So we're going to reach forward first. Right? Slide that hand out and thread that arm underneath. Big with twist as you can. Reach that arm back. Pull back. And reset. Let's go one more time. We're reaching forward. Stick that kickstand out there and thread underneath. I'm going to pull that out and reset. We'll do it one last time on this side. Reaching that chest forward. Get that kickstand out there and thread underneath. You're shooting to be a little bit deeper each time. And we'll pull that out and reset. Alright, I'm going to flip it over to our hands and knees. We're going to mobilize our shoulders and our upper spine a little bit. So we're going to get into our all fours, which we're pretty familiar with. What we're going to do as we sit those hips backwards, we're going to reach those arms forward, what we call child's pose. May have done this one before. So what we're looking to do is reach those arms as far as possible and push those hips back as far as possible. So creating length through our arms, through our lats, the sides of our torsos there. So we're going to hold there, continue to reach forward, extend through those fingers. And then we're just going to pull forward into a nice up dog. All right, so the hips are on the ground. We're still reaching those arms through the ground, so extension through those arms still. And if you want to, you can take that head up towards the ceiling, get a little bit longer reach through the torso. And we're just going to invert that one more time. So sitting back to that child's pose. And pulling that through into that up dog. Alright, to get a little more activation through here, we're going to tuck those toes up underneath. We're going to bring that up into a plank position. Alright, we're going to reach those hips up into a down dog. What we're going to do is what we call spinal wave. You're going to think about your tailbone all the way up to the tip of your head. You're going to go one vertebrae at a time, rolling all the way up until you get to the top of that head. We're going to get back into that up dog. Alright, so a nice little wave. So we'll reset that, pushing back into that down dog. And then rolling up, getting that top of the head to the ceiling. So I want you to be very active in those arms, pressing into the ground. We'll do last time here. Extend those arms here, get that wave, press into the ground, create length. Still pressing into the ground at the finish here. Alright, go ahead and drop down and relax. Alright, I'm going to get onto our feet. We're going to get a little stability work here. So we kind of worked with our single leg balance in the beginning there with the breath work. So we're kind of reinforce that here in our next section. Alright, so what we're going to start with is some forward and back reaches. So pick a leg, whichever leg you'd like to, and find that balance. The other leg can just float just above the ground, it's fine. Then what we're going to do is you can either stay in contact or stay just above the ground. Once you reach that leg back as far as you're comfortable while still standing upright, alright? Try not to hinge down. Once you stay standing upright, reach that leg as far back as you can. Should feel that glute turn on, which is good. We'll come back, find your center. And then we'll do the same thing, reaching forward as far as you can. Really point that toe. You should really feel your opposing leg, that quad and that glute turn on there. Alright, find our center. We're going to go one more time each way. Reach that leg as far back as we can. Still standing upright, try not to hinge. Back to center. And reaching forward as far as we're able. Really get length through that leg. And back to center. All right, go ahead and switch to your other side. We'll do the same thing. We'll start going backwards. And get that glute to turn on. Still stand upright. Back to center. And reaching forward. And tap that ground as much as you need to hold that balance. This is just kind of working the beginning of finding the coordination to stand on one leg. We'll go ahead and reach back if you haven't already. And center. One last time going forward. And relax. All right. Pretty easy, yeah? So we're going to add the lateral portion to this. So what this is going to look like, we're going to reach laterally as long as we can while still upright. All right. We're going to find that position. We're going to pause for a quick second or two. And then we're going to continue to reach by bending our down leg. All right. And you can either kind of hop it out, touching the ground, or you can stay above the ground. You're going to feel that lateral glute really fire up, all right? So let's go for it, whichever leg you want to. Find that reach as far as you can first, and then start bending that leg, finding that balance, and reaching out. If you need to keep that leg on the ground, that's fine, but I want you to really focus on keeping that weight over that balance leg, all right? So again, we'll pause out there for just a second, and then we'll bring it all back up, okay? You're in complete control of how much weight you're putting on that foot and how far of a reach we are extending ourselves. Okay, we'll go one more time this side. We're going to find that standing reach. We're going to pause and then reach out by bending that down leg. I like to put my arms out in front to help that balance. And pause and back up. All right, let's go to that other leg. Feel that, certainly that quad engaged. Alright, so standing nice and tall, other leg. We do like to have a little soft bend in that knee. Alright, so we're not locked out. Alright, because that's going to prevent some blood flow. We do like to go a little soft in that knee when we do our balance work. So, on the other leg now, we're going to find that standing reach. Should certainly feel the glute on that side. And then we'll slowly reach that out as far as we can. Try to keep that keep that leg elevated if you can. Bring it back up. But again, if you need to touch the ground, you can. All right, one more time. Soft knee bend, standing reach. And we'll extend that as far as we can by bending that knee as much as we're comfortable. Holding, 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 and back up. All right, time to add the next element to it. We're going to go kind of 2 in 1 here. So we're going to do our lateral, and then we're going to do our reverse. But we're going to add our hinge to our reverse. So what that's going to look like is we're going to do that same lateral reach. You can pause here, and then we'll extend out. We'll pause. Then we're going to come back, keeping this leg floating. I'll turn. We're going to kick that leg backwards, and then keep that hinge going and reaching as far back as we can. Okay? So again, same situation. You can touch the ground as you go out, all right? Or you can stay above the ground. But we're going to be working on bending that front knee. Okay? So we're on that first leg. We're going to get our standing reach. Ooh, there we are. Then we're going to slide that out as much as we can. Just a quick pause. We're going to bring it back. Keep this leg floating. And we're going to reach it back. And then we're going to keep reaching it back, getting that hip to hinge. We're going to pause at that full extension and bring it back up. I'm going to do one more time this side. Standing reach this to the lateral. Long reach to the lateral. Really feeling on that balance leg, huh? And bring it back up. Keep that leg floating. Standing reach back. And keep sliding it back. Get that hinge going. Trying to keep that leg close to the ground. Hold. And bring it back up. Alright. Now we'll go to that other side. Last time we're doing this, I promise. Standing reach to the side. Long reach to the side. Try to stay just above the ground. Or just tapping the ground as you go. Bring it back up. Keep it floating. reach that toe back, and then keep sliding that foot back. Don't kick any planks behind you. Once you find kind of that full extension, that balance, we'll hold that for a second, bring it back up. We'll do one more time, reaching out to the side. Long reach out to the side. Got to play with that, that balance on the other leg, shifting that weight around, bring it back up, reach it back. Nice and tall posture here. Just a quick tap on the ground to reset. And we'll continue reaching as far back as we can, find that single leg balance. And bring it back up. All right, we'll check that out. A lot of single leg work. All right, so we're gonna get down on the ground. We're gonna revisit our animalistic roots now. So we'll talk about stability in our shoulders and our core. We talked about our breath work, right? Being able to breathe through that belly promotes a strong central pillar, right? Our core. So we're gonna put that into practical practice here. Practical practice. That's what we're gonna rename this class. So we're gonna get down on hands and knees to start with. Hands are gonna be spread out, fingertips are extended, right? So we're pressing down into the ground. Make sure that we're activating through that whole arm. Right? We're not nice and sloppy, anything like this. We're actively pressing down. The pits of our elbows are going forward, right? The between our shoulder blades and our upper back is nice and flat. All right, think about there's like a smelly diaper right here, and you want to get as far away from that as possible. All right. So in this position, you should feel again space between your shoulder blades. We're going to tuck our toes up underneath, and we're going to press through, lift those knees up off the ground. All right, so you're kind of in a crawling position. So toes and fingers are all in contact with the ground. All right, we're just going to hold this for a second. You should feel that core activating. This is the challenge right here, to continue to breathe through that core. All right, and you should feel it's still braced. Go ahead and relax. So that's a great way to be exposed to the fact that you can still breathe and brace your core at the same time. All right, that's a huge key, a huge major part of a lot of this work here. So able to brace that core, still able to breathe in control. So let's get down one more time. Spread those fingers out, tuck those toes. All right, get away from that smelly diaper. And go ahead and lift those knees off. So you should feel that core nice and braced. All right, still able to practice that belly breathing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add some movement. So we're going to take our left hand and our right foot. Both are going to step about 5-6 inches forward. All right, now your little offset. So let's bring our right hand and left foot to even that out. Boom. Oh, look at that. We crawled. All right, let's bring that left hand and right foot again. And the other side. And we'll keep doing that for about two or three more steps going forward. Once you get to the end, go ahead and relax. So we're going to reverse this here in a second, but what I want you to be very cautious of is that we're not taking very big steps. All right? Yeah, we're just about 5 or 6 inches forward, or about hand length. All right? And keeping that core braced even as we stride. All right? So it's going to work to go backwards. We're going to spread those fingers out, right? Get nice and engaged. Bring those knees up. And we'll start those small steps going backwards. Same distance as we took going forward, but just going backwards. And we'll take about 5 or 6 total going back, and we'll relax. We're going to do this a couple more times. We're going to practice focusing on something a little bit different each time. So, as we went that time, I'm just focused on what we're actually doing. This time, I want you to draw attention to your hips, okay? Are your hips rotating as you walk? All right, are they staying nice and still as you walk? I want you to focus on the latter, all right? Keeping your hips as level as possible to the ground. A key we like to think about, if you're a visual person, think about you have a glass of water right on that low back, okay? Any kind of twisting and turning is going to spill that water and drop that glass. So as level as possible as we walk, not spilling a drop. So let's go one more time. We'll go forward and backwards, just about 5 or 6 steps. All right, make sure everything's engaged first. Sip into that glass of water, and we'll take those steps. So we have to continually account for that 2-point balance. So since we are lifting a hand and a foot, we are balancing on the other hand and the other foot. So we have to use that core to stabilize. Once you get back to that starting position, you can relax, take that glass of water off. You got every drop still in there, I hope. Good. If not, go fill it back up. We're going to do it again. This time, still keep it focused on that. And the key of this next round, we're going to focus on continually pressing. So I like to, there's a couple different ways to do this one. This is like a stalking maneuver, right? Like a jaguar or a tiger, or you like to do like a bear, okay? We're looking for the bear, which is going to be actively pressing those hands down, right? Keeping yourself proud, right? Keep yourself a presence. The way that I want you to avoid is dipping down and bending those elbows, right? Sucking like a big cat. What we want to do is make sure that we're nice and firm. We're promoting good stability through those shoulders, still keeping those triceps engaged that whole time. All right, so try not to slide across the ground, but we're going to nice and solid pick that arm up and put that arm down. So we're going to work to continually keep that tension through that arm. Let's go ahead again, 4 or 5 steps going forward, another 4 or 5 going back. Keeping those arms nice and stiff, keeping that low back nice and still. You don't have to crawl fast, right? Even recommend the slower, the more control we have. All right, once you finish that up, we're going to roll into just a couple quick movements here at the end. We'll get you off the ground. I know that was a lot of fun. So we have 2 movements to work on here to finish up. We're just going to take about 2 minutes or so to go through it. What it's going to look like, we're going to practice our balance still. So we're going to take our lateral stride. So this time we're going to do the same stride. You don't have to keep the balance, but just thinking about stepping out, and we're going to squat into that single leg. All right. We're going to stand up, and we're going to grab this leg. You can either grab on the knee or one knee, one ankle, and we're going to pull that up into a ladder or into a leg cradle. All right. So what's going to look like is going to be step out, squat down, pull the same leg up into a knee hug or a cradle. We're going to go 3 on that side, 3 on the other. All right. If you're following along with me, this could be your 3rd rep already. But we'll do another one just for fun. Stepping out, squatting down, knee up, cradle. All right. Once you get 3, we'll step to the other side. We'll get that long stride out. We'll squat that down as deep as you're comfortable going. And get that nice little cradle. Step that far out. Grab that knee and pull it up. Last time on this side. Good. All right. So, second one, we're going to get into our plank position. All right, we focus on a few things here, just like that primal position. We're going to actually press down into the ground. I'm going to spread those feet out to about shoulder width. All right, just outside of shoulder width. Then, instead of walking forward, I'm going to take one hand. I'm going to take this to my hip and back down. All right, take it the other one to my hip and back down. We're going to go 2 more each side. Focus on those hips. Again, maintaining stability through those hips. Actively pressing down on that down hand. Go 1 more each way. A quick little pause at the top just to make sure that we are stable. And let's bring it back up. We're going to go another round through those 2 movements. And that should bring us right to the end. All right, so a nice long stride. Sitting down into a little squat. Grab that leg for a cradle. Again, 3 reps on this side. Working a lot of single leg balance today. Great for testing our coordination and improving our coordination. Once you get those 3, bring it to the other side. Long step, squat it down. Bring that leg in that cradle. So bring that leg into the cradle. Again, good way to test that balance, but also we get a little glute stretch at the same time. All right, last time, step it out, boom, drive it up. All right, and we'll get down for our last set. Working on this plank position, just tapping those hips. We got 3 each side, making sure that we are finding that balance. You should feel that core, again, nice and braced, but still breathing through that belly. We'll go 1 more each way. Sometimes I like to extend that hold as we get deeper into it. All right. That is going to do it for Performance Basics this afternoon. I'm Coach Matt. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take care.